Hello, I am Angie Millman, the Director of DSS. The Office of Disability Support Services provides assistance to students with disabilities. I want to take this opportunity to share with you a little about our department. DSS works with students on all three of our campuses, the main campus in South Orange, the Interprofessional Health Sciences campus in Nutley, and the Law School in Newark. Our contact information is shown here and is also available on the website. DSS works with students who disclose disabilities to determine appropriate accommodations. The university is committed to equal access, and it is our role to determine what appropriate academic adjustments or other modifications are necessary in order for students to be able to equally participate in all aspects of university life. Sometimes parents think of us as an extension of the special services departments in K through 12, and while we are similar in some respects, we are different in other ways, which we will discuss. DSS works with students who disclose disabilities to determine if and what accommodations are necessary and reasonable in order to provide equal access. Academically speaking, this involves the development of individualized accommodation plans, which outline what accommodations are necessary in a student's courses. This may include things such as extended testing time, ability to utilize assistive technology, or other accommodations. Each accommodation is determined based upon the individual student's needs, as documented in their paperwork and disclosed during their intake appointment. Services DSS provides include assistance obtaining textbooks in alternate formats, coordination of interpreting and captioning services, proctoring of extended time and alternative location exams, and referrals to on- and off-campus resources. In addition to academics, DSS also processes accommodations related to housing, parking, and dining services. It is important to understand the process of registering with DSS. Students must first complete and submit a self-identification form online. This is what triggers an accommodation request. Additionally, students must submit current and appropriate documentation from a qualified professional. Documentation guidelines for various types of disabilities are provided on our website. Once DSS receives the self-ID form and documentation, we reach out to students to schedule an intake appointment via their Seton Hall email. Students must respond, schedule, and participate in an intake meeting to discuss their disability-related needs. It is important to note that if students do not follow through with an intake meeting, they are not considered registered with DSS and are not entitled to any accommodations. College is not the same as high school. It is the student's responsibility to follow these established policies and procedures if they wish to utilize accommodations at the post-secondary level. After the intake meeting has taken place, DSS will create a letter of accommodation detailing any approved accommodations. This letter will be provided directly to the student, and it is the student's responsibility to distribute to their professors. The laws that protect students with disabilities change when a student transitions to college. Whereas students in the pre-K through 12 setting receive modifications and services under the IDEA, or Individuals with Disabilities Education Act of 1975, which guarantees a free and appropriate public education to every student regardless of disability, at the college level, we are governed by the Americans with Disabilities Act and Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. Due to the differences in laws that govern the provision of accommodations, students may not be entitled to exactly the same accommodations in college as they were in high school. Additionally, colleges have the right to offer equally effective accommodations and do not always have to grant a student's preference. Students must remain otherwise qualified, which means they must meet all requirements, entrance requirements for specific majors, retention and GPA requirements, and graduation requirements. Colleges do not have to be flexible with any of these requirements. Accommodations granted by Disability Support Services are designed to ensure that a student has equal access to a college education, but do not guarantee the student's success. That being said, Seton Hall has many departments that offer a plethora of resources that students can take advantage of to help them be successful. At the college level, it is the responsibility of the student to submit appropriate documentation. Often a student has the necessary documentation from high school. However, sometimes students are not diagnosed prior to college or have not been tested in a long time. In those cases, it may be necessary for the student to obtain an updated evaluation at their own cost. We do not provide any diagnostic evaluation services at Seton Hall. However, we can provide a student with a list of referrals to private and community-based practitioners. Again, documentation guidelines for various types of disabilities are available on our website. IEPs and 504 plans are not generally sufficient in and of themselves at the college level. Self-advocacy is the action of representing oneself or one's views or interests. It involves speaking up for yourself and being in control of your own use of accommodations. In high school, the school is responsible for identifying students as having a disability and arranging accommodations. IEPs and 504 plans are administratively shared with teachers. However, at the college level, students are expected to be their own advocates. It is a student's responsibility to self-identify to the disability office of their college and follow all established policies and procedures, including submission of appropriate documentation, scheduling of required meetings, and distribution of letters of accommodation to faculty. The parental role also changes from high school to college. In the younger years, it is often the parents steering the ship when it comes to what their son or daughter needs. This makes complete sense, and this advocacy role is an important one. Parents know their young children best and can advocate for what they need. The process is designed to involve parents during IEP and 504 meetings. However, in college, your son or daughter is now considered an adult. Therefore, they have a responsibility to advocate for themselves. High schools should have worked with students to help them understand this transition and prepare them for success in the post-secondary environment. If your son or daughter needs any additional assistance in learning to become his or her own advocate, please have him or her reach out directly to DSS. At the post-secondary level, parents do not have access to student records and cannot communicate without a student's written consent. DSS follows all established protocol based upon the federal law known as FERPA. In practice, what this means is a parent can reach out to DSS for information or to share concerns. However, DSS will involve the student in our conversations. Additionally, it is different from high school in that we do not contact parents with status updates or email notifications. For example, we remind students every semester of the process to request updated letters of accommodation to distribute to their professors. If students do not follow through, they are responsible for the consequences of their decision. We do not reach out to parents to let them know that their son or daughter hasn't requested updated letters. That is not the role of a college disability services office. In summary, DSS looks forward to working with your son or daughter and supporting them through their post-secondary education. DSS is not a fee-based program. We are not structured to provide weekly support, coaching, tutoring, or academic monitoring. Some of these services are available in other departments on campus, however, and DSS works closely with these departments and can make referrals when appropriate. We do work individually with students to develop accommodation plans and assist them in obtaining the resources and support they need. We also communicate with faculty on a regular basis to increase awareness and advocate for the needs of individuals with disabilities. If you have any questions, please check out the resources on our website and contact our office if additional information is needed.